In the words of the legendary chef and my personal hero, Anthony Bourdain, food is everything we are. It's an extension of a nationalist feeling, ethnic feeling, your personal history, your province, your region, your tribe, your grandma. It's inseparable from those from the get-go. Welcome to Every Dish a Story, a podcast about a place of food in our lives and what it meant to our ancestors. I'm your host, Kat, and I'm going to take you to a new location every 2 weeks to connect to who we are. If someone says to you that true love doesn't exist, just let them taste biryani. Welcome to Every Dish a Story, episode 19. I'm your host, Kat, and today our destination is India. Biryani is made up of two Persian words, biryan, which means fried before cooking, and biryani, which means rice. There are several theories about how this delectable dish came to be. Biryani is thought to have originated in Persia, and then later brought to India by the Mughals, according to many historians. And it was in the Mughal royal kitchen that biryani was further refined. The choice of spices and seasonings distinguishes the biryani that is cooked in India from those that are cooked elsewhere. The traditional Persian or Arabian biryanis are relatively mild, and India, being the country of spices, has greatly contributed to the varied tastes of the biryani. Because the flavors of different parts of the country differ so much, the spices used in biryanis are likewise distinctive. Biryanis from the south of India have a unique coconut and tamarind flavor and may include a dash of chili, whilst those from the north employ yogurt as a marinade and delicate whole spices like cardamom, cinnamon, and bay leaf. Some biryanis use jasmine, rose, and saffron, as well as the screw pine and other dry fruits for a nutty flavor. This flavor can also be achieved by frying the rice in ghee before adding it to the meat or veggies to be cooked. The vegetarian biryani is jokingly referred to as pulao by fans of the luscious chicken and mutton biryanis. The joke, of course, being that pulao is a vegetarian side dish to the meats in India. So calling a biryani a side dish is at least a little bit disrespectful. For most biryani connoisseurs, the distinction between pilaf and biryani has long been a point of controversy. Pilaf is significantly easier to make than the traditional biryani. To make pilaf, finely saute the meat or veggies with the rice, then cook it until done in a measured amount of water. Biryani, on the other hand, is made with partially cooked rice and meat or vegetables piled in a handi. A handi is a cooking basin made from copper or clay, which originated on the Indian subcontinent, and it is utilized primarily in North India, Pakistani, and Bangladeshi cooking. And then all of this is cooked on a slow fire. The modern biryani, according to historian Lizzie Collingham, is a cross between Persian pilaf and subtle Indian spices and aromas. On the other hand, a 16th century Mughal literature refers to biryani as an antiquated phrase that has since been replaced by pilaf. While practice makes perfect, real biryani aficionados cannot overlook the importance of the main ingredients. Fresh vegetables, excellent meat cuts, chicken, and fresh seafood are used to enhance the flavor of a biryani. For a good North Indian biryani, use the finest long grain rice, while for a good South Indian biryani, use the finest short grain rice. A decent biryani starts with a well-balanced marinade of yogurt, herbs, and spices. Each form of biryani has its own particular flavor, thanks to the delicate aromatic spices native to the region. Most people are surprised to learn that biryani is not just found on the Indian subcontinent. Various countries around the world have developed their own versions of the meal, with Malaysian, Filipino, Mauritian, and African versions being particularly popular. Biryani is surely a timeless classic that requires no explanation. India has so much to offer in terms of cuisine, but the mouth-watering biryani is one dish that all Indians agree on. And when it comes to sampling this melting pot of flavors, one is spoiled for choice, as local and hyperlocal variations have grown into unique varieties of biryanis. The delectably complex blend of flavors, spices, and scents in biryani has come to symbolize Indian cuisine's pinnacle. So, if you're a die-hard fan of this delectable meal, kick it up a notch and tantalize your taste buds even more with the story behind what makes biryani so special. According to mythology, when Timur, the Turco-Mongol conqueror, arrived at India's frontiers in 1398, he brought the predecessor of the biryani with him. A clay pot full of rice, spices, and whatever meats were available would be buried in a heated pit before being raised up and fed to Timur's army during a war campaign, according to legend. According to another narrative, the dish was brought to India's southern Malabar coast by Arab traders, who were frequent visitors. On Soru, The rice dish was mentioned in Tamil literature as early as year 2 AD. Rice, ghee, pork, turmeric, coriander, peppers, and bay leaf were supposed to be used to feed military troops in Unsuru. The most common legend, however, attributes the dish's origins to Mumtaz Mahal, Shah Jahan's lovely queen who inspired the Taj Mahal. Mumtaz is believed to have visited the army barracks and discovered that Mughal soldiers were frail and malnourished. She then requested that the chef produce a special meal that included meat and rice in order to provide the soldiers with a balanced diet. The outcome was, of course, biryani. Rice was fried in ghee without being washed at the time to give it a nutty flavor and keep it from clumping. It was seasoned with meat, aromatic spices, and saffron before being cooked over an open fire. The Nizams of Hyderabad and the Nawabs of Lucknow were both known for their appreciation of biryani's subtleties, and their chefs' distinctive meals were famous all over the world. These kings were also responsible for popularizing their variation of biryani in various parts of the country, along with delectable accompaniments such as mirchi ka salan, dhan shak, and Biari Biryani. The perfect biryani necessitates precisely calibrated components and a well-honed process. Traditionally, biryani was prepared using the dam pukht method, which is slow-breathing oven in Persian. The ingredients are placed into a pot and cooked slowly over charcoal. In order for the steam to do its work, the charcoal is also placed on top. The hot meat gets tenderized in its own juices while flavoring the rice in the pot. Aside from technique, spices play an important role in making a superb biryani. Some recipes use only a few spices, while others use more than 15 different varieties. Meat or poultry is frequently used as the major ingredient, while fish, prawns, and crabs are also included in some coastal variants. Rose water and sweet edible itar, which is essential oil, are commonly used in biryani, a practice that dates back to the medieval times. Long-grain brown rice was traditionally used to prepare biryani in the north. The fragrant basmati rice has since taken its place. In the south, however, biryanis were and still are made with the native rice varieties such as azira samba, kaima, jirakashala, and kalabhat, which give the dish its distinctive flavor, texture, and aroma. The kuchi, which means raw biryani, and the puki, which means cooked biryani, are the two main forms of this dish. The meat is layered with raw rice in a handi and then cooked in kuchi biryani, whereas cooked meat and rice are piled in a handi in puki biryani, where they join together in a marriage of flavors. The history of biryani stretches through ages, countries, ingredients, and cooking methods. The biryani has evolved from an army dish to a dish suited for royalty and is now a pan-India culinary favorite. Its numerous versions reflect the regional preferences, traditions, and gastronomic histories of the origins. Let's look at a few mouth-watering regional biryani variations that every biryani fan should be aware of. The Mughal emperors enjoyed extravagant dining experiences and considered cooking to be an art form. The regal Mughlai biryani was ideal for this occasion. The aroma of succulent chunks of delicately spiced beef encased in itar-flavored rice is intoxicating, quickly making one hungry. This biryani smells and tastes just like royalty. After Emperor Aurangzeb chose Niza-ul-Mulk as the new ruler of Hyderabad, the world-famous Hyderabadi Biryani was born. Using fish, shrimp, chicken, pheasant, deer, and even hare meat, his chefs reportedly crafted nearly 50 different varieties. While most biryanis are defined by their flavorful meat, the aromatic saffron-flavored rice is the star of the show in the layered Hyderabadi Biryani. Hyderabad was also the home of the Kachi Akhni Biryani, which was refined and perfected here. After being exiled by the British, the great chef Nawab Wajid Ali Shah attempted to replicate his favorite dish in Kolkata. Due to the lack of meat, the local cooks altered the recipe, substituting perfectly cooked golden brown potatoes for the meat, a hallmark of the Kolkata biryani. This biryani relies heavily on a yogurt-based marinade, which is prepared separately from the light yellow rice. In addition, the Kolkata biryani, like most Bengali cuisines, contains a note of sweetness. The Dindigul biryani is a much-loved local favorite, with many restaurants dedicated to cooking just this dish. The jeera samba rice used in this biryani is unique and adds a distinct flavor to the dish. Dindigul biryani also employs little cube-sized meat pieces rather than huge chunks. The dish is very tangy thanks to the yogurt and lemon, while the heat of the pepper comes from the copious amounts of chili. Lucknowi biryani has a softer texture and milder spices due to its preparation in the regal Awadhi tradition. The first step is to make a yakhni stock by slowly boiling beef in water infused with spices for 2 hours or longer. And it's this that makes this biryani moister, tenderer, and with a more delicate flavor than other biryanis. Arcot biryani originated in the Tamil Nadu towns of Ambur and Vaniambadi and was introduced by the Nawabs of Arcot. The biryani is usually served with dalcha. The main distinction of this biryani is that it only uses one type of rice, the Siraja Samba rice, which is typical Tamil Nadu kind. The Memons of Gujarat Sindh made an extremely spicy variation, which is similar to Sindhi Biryani. Memoni biryani utilizes less food coloring than other biryanis and is typically cooked with lamb, yogurt, caramelized onions, and potatoes. This allows the natural colors and flavors of the various components such as pork, rice, and veggies to shine through in this classic dish. The Thalasseri Biryani is both sweet and savory, making it one of India's most popular biryanis. Soft chicken wings, mild Malabar spices, and a variety of rice called kaima are the main ingredients. This biryani is made with a generous amount of sautéed cashew nuts, sultana raisins, and fennel seeds. The rice and meat are cooked separately and combined together when ready to serve. The Kamrupi Biryani is named after the Assamese town of Kamrup. The chicken is initially cooked with peas, carrots, beans, potatoes, and yellow bell peppers in the simple but tasty dish. After that, the mixture is lightly seasoned with cardamom and nutmeg before being blended with rice. This little-known biryani, which combines the fresh flavors of indigenous vegetables with meat, is a tribute to Assamese culinary creativity. Tahari Biryani is a vegetarian dish. In a handi, rice is typically cooked with a variety of vegetables, with potatoes and carrots being the most commonly used. This biryani is said to have been invented in Mysore when Tipu Sultan hired vegetarian Hindus to work as his bookkeepers. As a result, a vegetarian version of a cult meal emerged. In Kashmir, tahari is a popular street snack. The Muslim community of the Dakshin Kannada region in Karnataka makes the Biari Biryani, which is a cousin to the spicier Mangalore Biryani. The rice, which is cooked overnight in a blend of ghee and spices, has the strongest flavor. This technique helps the rice to absorb all of the powerful flavors. This dish is also extremely adaptable since it may be made with any type of meat or fish that is readily accessible in the area. Unlike any other biryanis, Sindhi Biryani is packed with finely sliced green chilies, fragrant spices, and roasted almonds. The addition of plums and the spices gives the biryani a lovely aroma, and the use of a lot of sour yogurt in the layering adds a tangy note to the spice combination. The Batkali Biryani is a specialty of Batkal, a seaside town in Karnataka, where it is a must-have at wedding feasts. The meat is covered with fragrant rice and cooked in an onion and green chili masala. The Batkali Biryani has a distinct spicy and powerful flavor that distinguishes it from other coastal Karnataka biryanis. The Bombay Biryani, just like the city in which it was developed, is a melting pot of flavors, spicy, meaty, and zesty. Bombay Biryani always includes fried spicy potatoes, whether it's cooked with chicken, mutton, or vegetables. It also has a slight sweetness to it thanks to the dried plums and itar water used. This biryani may not be as well known as the others, but it has a place in the hearts of all who try it. And finally, Dudh Ghee Biryani is one of a kind Hyderabadi specialty recognized for its mild flavors. A subtle, refined, and delicately flavored dish is created by combining creamy milk with roasted almonds and aromatic spices. Definitely a jewel among the Hyderabadi Nizam's regal biryanis. Biryani is a complete dinner in and of itself, with enough variety to delight everyone. This is a dish that works for any occasion, whether it's a relaxing Sunday brunch, a rowdy college gathering, or a formal supper with the in-laws. Biryani is a miracle of India's culinary heritage, loved and devoured by the rich and poor alike. And before I wrap up this journey, I want to say a few words about raita. Raita is a famous Indian side dish or condiment made by blending thick yogurt with various fruits, vegetables, and spices to create either a sweet, savory, or spicy dish. And the color of raita varies according to the components, although it is typically white, green, or yellow. It's akin to tzatziki, a cucumber yogurt dip or sauce from Greece. When you eat spicy dishes, raita helps to relieve the heat. This is backed up by science. Chili's capsaicin is neutralized by the casein in yogurt. Some types of flatbread are served with raita, chutneys, and pickles in Indian cuisine. Coriander, roasted cumin seeds, mint, cayenne pepper, chaat masala, and other herbs and spices can be added to the yogurt. Cucumber raita is a raita variety that can be served as a salad or a dip. It's made by combining freshly sliced cucumber or grated cucumber, green chilies, and yogurt, as well as finely chopped tomato or onion if desired. It is particularly popular during the warmer months because it helps to cool off. In Indian cuisine, it is frequently served as a side dish to accompany a spicy biryani. On this note, I'd like to wrap up our Indian adventure, and I invite you to check out my recipe for Hyderabadi Biryani with chicken, and also a recipe for a very simple and quick cucumber raita to go with it. You'll find all the links to my website and my YouTube channel in the description of this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Eat well, train hard, love cats, and also please recycle your garbage when you can. And of course, wherever you are in the world, I hope that you are safe and that you are healthy. Bye-bye for now, and I'll be back on June 23rd with a new journey.